Be honest with me. Are you posting consistently on your gym's Instagram? Most gyms try for a couple weeks, fall off the bandwagon, go dark for a month, and then feel guilty every time they open up the app. Or maybe your gym's posting consistently, but you're not really seeing leads or members from it. And that's because most gyms are making one of these 5 gym Instagram mistakes without even knowing it. And fixing just one of them can completely transform your gym's business. I'm John Franklin. I'm the CEO of Two Brain Business, the world's largest gym mentorship company. We work with over 3,500 gyms to help them bring in 6 figures in profit every single year because, yeah, it's possible. And today we're breaking down the 5 biggest gym Instagram mistakes we see and how to fix them. Let's get into it. So the first mistake we see gym owners making, and the easiest one to fix, is not having a clear pin post sequence. Your gym Instagram page is a funnel. If a prospect goes onto your page, they should get a clear vibe of what your gym is all about, what your coaches are like, and how to get started. Because the way people find a gym nowadays is they go to Google and they'll type whatever gym type they're looking for near me, and 3 gyms will pop up. They'll then go to the Google business page, look at the photos to see which ones look right for them. From there, they'll go to the website to make sure they offer the type of training that they're looking for. And then the next logical spot for them is to go creep on your Instagram. They want to do a vibe check. And this is a clear way to stand out from your competition. Now, let me show you what a generic looking gym Instagram looks like. If we look down at the slides, you can see here that we're just saying that we empower athletes. We don't even know what that means. And then the call to action here at the top is call or email us to get started. So there's 2 separate call to actions. It's unclear what we want the prospect to do here. And then we look at the first 3 posts and it's just a guy's face, a guy lifting from a side angle, and then we can't really tell what's going on in the 3rd post. So we don't really have any clear signal like who this gym is for, who works out here, what the general vibe is like. It's just kind of an airball and we can do a lot better. Let me show you what a good one looks like. This is the Fort NYC, and this is a gym run by Dan Trink and Kyle Fields, and they have one of the best pin post sequences out of any gym. And what they do is they do a 3-part series, and they treat it literally like a funnel. And the first part that they're doing is a video called This is the Fort, and it just says who the gym is for and what they do. The second piece is how we train at the Fort. So the Fort does small group personal training. And they explain what small group personal training is, and they walk someone through a session. The same way you would if a prospect came into your gym. You're just kind of explaining what you do. Because a lot of people are really scared to join your gym, and having that context is really helpful. Once they know who the gym is about, who the owners are, what the coaches and the members look like, and what a session looks like, their 3rd post is the next step. It's called How to Get Started. And they just go over that the first step in the process is doing a call with them. And they show people exactly how to book that call, right? But this may be a great opportunity to talk about your schedule, your pricing, but just hand-holding people because it's so scary to start a new gym for a lot of people. And a lot of people just sit on the sidelines, even though they're ready to start. Having a sequence like this just lets you take someone from problem aware, like, hey, I know I should be going to the gym, to this is the place for me in 3 minutes with just these pin posts. And if you take just one thing from this video, go make the pin post sequence. And if you do no other social media posts for the rest of your gym life, you're gonna get an ROI from watching this video. By the way, we created a free custom GPT that will audit your gym's Instagram and identify spots in your social presence that may be costing you leads. If you wanna try it out, click the link below or scan this QR code and keep watching as we reveal the other mistakes and how to fix them. The second biggest mistake we see gym owners making is having no conversion-based content. And all conversion-based content is posts that allow prospects to raise their hand and say they're interested in learning more about your gym. And the most common gym content strategy we're seeing from gyms that post consistently is what I call the underpants gnome strategy. And what that is, this is from South Park. So there are these underpants gnomes. They would collect underpants for the hope of making profit later on down the road. And for a lot of gym owners, their social strategy is phase 1 is post. And the reason they're posting is because they want members. But there really isn't a clear bridge from how the posting turns into members. And that's what conversion content is. Conversion content is what takes these posts and allows you to start conversations. The trap a lot of gyms fall into is just posting connection-based content, stuff that's like viral and gets a lot of likes and a lot of views. But the reality is you can't pay your rent with likes and views. What I want to bring to your attention is that conversion content performs the worst. It's not going to get a lot of likes. It's not going to get a lot of comments, but it makes you the most money, which is why it is an essential part of the post sequence. Now, this one's really direct. It's just like, hey, I got 4 spots left for this thing. Do you want to buy it or not? But there's a way to do this a little more subtly, where you're making a post that feels a little more organic than, hey, buy my thing, but it still gets people to raise their hand and talk to you about the gym. This is Shelton Athletics, run by Lauren DeSessa. She has a rockin' High Rocks program, and she runs sims 3 to 4 times a year. And what a High Rocks sim is just you replicate the race in the gym, and you have people sign up, you bring a DJ, and it turns into this big party. But all her members train for this. And she gets like 50 or 60 people to come out to these things. And when they're done, what she does is she has the teams hold a whiteboard, one explaining what it was, so High Rock simulation at Shelton Athletics, and the other one is their time. And this is just a carousel of all the people that participated. So if you're someone who does High Rocks or you're curious about High Rocks, you get to see what all these people's times are. And then if you look at the post, it says, do you want to be a part of our next High Rocks class? Hit the link in our bio to chat, get signed up, or check out when our next sim is. Don't miss out. And this post got a few hundred likes, and there were a ton of comments on there. And a lot of them were not by Shelton Athletic members, which creates an opportunity for the gym to reach out and say, hey, I saw you commented on the High Rocks post. Is High Rocks something you're doing? And they can say, no, hey, I was just supporting Sally. Or they could say, yes. And that creates an open loop for Lauren to then invite them into the next High Rocks class. And that just created an opportunity that otherwise wouldn't have happened if she didn't make a piece of conversion content like this. So those are 2 pretty direct examples using static images, but video is also a great way to showcase conversion-based content. Let me show you an example of what good looks like over here on the left.
Cool, bad boys, yeah. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
So this is Stoked Athletics, and what they're doing here is they're taking a viral format and turning it into a piece of conversion-based content. The reel starts with the cops out front, and so it draws your attention and you want to see what's going on. And then he comes into the gym and he pitches his Mother's Day promotion. And so you hook a lot of attention, but there's a call to action at the end and there's value in it, right? Like he's giving this huge bundle away and it's timely, it's centered around a holiday, and just creates this awesome opportunity, one, to get likes and show off his funny side, right? Because there's that viral element, as well as get people to raise their hand and get eyeballs on that Mother's Day promotion he's running. The key here is not to overthink it and just have one post a week where there's a direct call to action asking people if they want to learn more about a specific program or your gym in general. Worst case scenario, if you hate it, you can leave it up for a few days and delete it later. Conversion-based content is a great segue into the third mistake, which is you're only posting. So the reason we do conversion-based content is to get people to raise their hand. But if you don't reach out to the people who raise their hand, you're just setting the table and not eating. And that's what I mean by you're only posting, right? Posts are the tip of the iceberg. Where members actually are generated is in the DMs. Whenever I talk to a gym owner and they're unhappy with the amount of leads they're getting for their gym, or they're just like, my gym isn't growing, I always start with one simple question. I say, how many people did you talk to today about your gym? And the answer is almost always 0. And so if that is you, the first thing you want to do, the way you turn your marketing around, is you just start talking to more prospects about your gym. And Instagram is a great platform for opening up conversations. I recommend that you reach out to every single new follower you get. And you don't have to say something like, hey, buy my gym. Here's an example of Trace Kennedy, who's a two-brain mentor, closing a new follower on his Instagram. He just reached out by saying, hey, thanks for following us. We really appreciate it. We hope we can motivate and encourage you with our page. Are you currently active in your fitness? And this person responded, I'm sort of active these days. I used to be a lot more active. And then you can just start a natural conversation the same way you would with any other person calling in to learn more about the gym. And so what I recommend is you do at least 3 conversations every single day. And let's think about that for a second. If you're opening up 3 new conversations a day, that's going to lead to over 1,000 conversations over the course of 1 year. And that's 1,000 conversations you otherwise wouldn't have had. So you got to ask yourself, if I did this, would my gym be in better shape a year from now than it is today? And the answer is likely yes. So whenever I recommend this advice, gym owners will say, well, John, I'm not getting 3 new followers. And that's perfectly okay. So I have something called the DM hierarchy. So if you are not getting 3 new followers a day and you want to follow my framework for having 3 conversations a day, the first thing you're going to do is new followers. So let's say you get 1, you're going to reach out to them and say, hey, Steve, thanks for following the page. What are you currently doing for your fitness? Something simple and straightforward, just starting a conversation. Second is people who engage. So let's say you posted about a recent High Rocks event in your gym and someone who's not a member commented on it. You can just reach out and say, hey, Steve, I saw you commented on our most recent High Rocks post. Do you do High Rocks? And if they say no, leave Steve alone. But if they say yes, just provide some details about your gym, and that creates an opportunity to bring somebody in for a class. The third piece is alumni and lapsed leads. So you probably follow your old members and you probably follow hot leads. If you don't, you should. And one of the things that you can do there is say, hey, Steve, I just wrapped up the 12 p.m. class, and let's assume Steve did the 12 p.m. class, and everybody was asking about you. How's it going, man? And you're just opening up the loop. You're not trying to sell Steve on a membership again. You're just reaching out from a place of genuine care. And I promise you, nothing bad will happen when you show old members you care. But if you want a framework for winning back alumni, watch this video from Two Brain mentor Corey Lewis, where he talks about how to win back old members. The fourth and final piece of the DM hierarchy is just reaching out to your current members. There's nothing wrong with reaching out to Steve and saying, hey, Steve, I just wanted to write you a quick message and tell you how much I appreciate you being a part of my gym. Every time you come into the 12 p.m. class, it makes my job more fun and you bring the energy up. And something like that is going to make Steve's day. So Steve's going to be less likely to cancel. Steve's going to be more likely to refer when his friends need a gym to go to. And Steve's just going to like you. He's going to create a lot of goodwill and he's going to show up awesome next time he comes to the gym and make the experience better for your members. So that's it. That's the DM hierarchy. We're going to do 3 conversations a day. For 365 days. And we're just going to move down the hierarchy. So we'll do followers first, people who engage second, alumni third, and current members fourth. If you do this, your gym will be completely different a year from now. I promise you that. Now, the fourth mistake, and this one is a big one, is your gym Instagram has no personality. Quick story here. I hired a new content director for Two Brain, and I asked her where she lived. And we pulled up 5 gyms around her, and I showed her the gym Instagrams for each one of them. After we looked at all 5, I asked her, which one would you go to? And after looking at all 5 of those gym Instagrams, she wasn't able to remember anything that stood out from them because they all looked the same. Now, your biggest advantage over a chain like Planet Fitness or your competitors down the road is you. The reality is people buy from people, not brands. And if you think about the content you consume on Instagram, it's likely content from personal brands where the business is an extension of the founder. And if you're listening to this, you're likely a coaching-based gym, which means you are the service. Your coaches are the service. You want to showcase that. You want to showcase personality. You want to talk about who you're all about, what you're all about, and show a little bit of that weird side. I think the worst thing you can do as a gym owner is hire a social media intern and have what I call the Canva feed, where every post looks exactly like all the other ones. Sure, this is polished. Sure, it's branded. But the reality is it's completely unforgettable. And if every gym is doing it, it's not standing out. Here's an example of a good one. This is Joe Strada, and he runs a powerlifting gym called Unleash Strength. And the first video on the feed is talking about his story and what he went through to start this gym, why he started the gym, and why he cares so much about the community. Then you can see him talking about a workout that he did. Then you can see one of his coaches. This is a reel that went viral where he talked about things that should be in every gym. He's just showcasing his love of White Monster, how he loves there's deadlifting grandmas, all the crazy weird equipment that he has, his passion for gym merchandise, and it goes on. And it's presented in a really entertaining way, but with each swipe, you're learning more about Joe's gym. And if you're somebody who likes powerlifting or strength training, you're gonna see this Instagram feed versus all the other ones in the area and immediately identify that this place is for me. I know a lot of gym owners are scared of being on camera or don't want to be on camera or say, hey, my members should be the story. And while you should absolutely showcase your member wins, if you are not on camera, you're still making a statement. You are a faceless gym. And remember, these people are buying coaching, right? And who delivers coaching? It's people. So I encourage you to be a part of your member stories, to showcase your coaching, and to be on camera yourself, because you are your competitive advantage. And the final mistake is chasing vanity metrics. If you are someone who's just starting off on social media, this is a message to future you, right? Because as you post consistently, you're gonna have some posts that pop off. And those likes, those views, those comments, they give you dopamine and you wanna chase it and you wanna recreate it. But I'm here to tell you a word of warning. You can't pay your rent with likes. Conversations are the gateway to more members. And while doing top of funnel, trending audio, meme formats is fun every once in a while, that connection content shouldn't be the base of the pyramid. It shouldn't be what your social media is built on. We had a gym owner in Two Brain who made one of the most viral posts I've seen anywhere on social media, not just for gyms, anywhere. It got over 50 million views. 50 million views. That is insane. That's like half of a Mr. Beast video. But that gym owner got literally 0 clients from those 50 million views. And this specific gym owner, he loved the attention. So he kept trying to make content like that, even though it wasn't serving his business. And that is a trap a lot of us fall into on social media, where we start chasing these vanity metrics and playing the wrong game. I personally have fallen into this trap. I had a Twitter following of 20,000 people that I built up, and I'd done like 3,000 tweets. And then I thought for a second and said, how many clients have I gotten from this Twitter profile? And I went back and looked, and I'd gotten 1 client over the course of 3,000 tweets. Meanwhile, I had this weekly podcast that I wasn't putting a lot of effort into. It had under 200 subscribers, and the average episode was getting like 90 views. But when I went back and looked at the sales call intelligence, I was getting a prospect showing up on a sales call once a week because the podcast pushed them over the edge. And after that, I just stopped posting on Twitter altogether because I realized like I was on social media to build my business. And so if you are someone who's falling into that trap, focus on the content that starts conversations with prospects, the stuff that gets people to raise their hand and say, I want more information about your gym. But ultimately, we want to have a clear intention with what we're doing here on social media, so we're not chasing the wrong metrics and we're focusing on the things that actually grow our gym. So if you found this video helpful, you're going to want to watch this one where we break down the exact messaging strategy you should use after prospects engage with your social media content.